legal everywhere else. We can get jobs, we can get money for the state of New York. So let's hear it for MMA in New York.
Yeah. We're here at 250 Broadway in front of Sheldon Silver's office to do the rally to legalize mixed martial arts in New York.
What do we want? MMA!
We touched on a lot of issues. We touched on the fact that people need to spend more time and take more time correcting the record when they see inaccurate comments being made in the media.
14 years ago yesterday, UFC 12 was kicked out of Buffalo, New York and had to fly down to Dothan, Alabama. That was the last time we might have had MMA in this state. A lot has happened over 14 years, but here in New York State, we're exactly the same place, still fighting for MMA in this state. Our athletes have nowhere to go. We want to be able to compete in front of our own families.
Hey, we're here in lovely New York City on this chilly February day, rallying outside the Assemblyman's Legalize MMA in New York.
Years ago, the landscape was vastly different. In most states, this was still illegal. We didn't have referees that were properly trained. The rules were varied from show to show and state to state. And we also were barely using weight classes. Women's MMA was basically non-existent. It was very hard to find opponents, especially in my case where I started back in 2001. But now, since the landscape has grown, it's moved more into mainstream media and has been legalized in many states, specifically Nevada and California and New Jersey and Florida. We've had such a rise in popularity that more people have come out to start training in the sport.
I did a little speech a little while ago. I was super nervous. Got the word out and we got our job done. We're just waiting for somebody to stand up and take notice. Maybe help us get things legalized and pushed through the House.
MMA is illegal in the state of New York. We want to bring it legal. All the different disciplines, each one is legal. But if you mix them all together in one fight, then it's illegal. So it makes no sense.
When they say we're into blood sport, what do?
Correct the record!
You see a blog online that calls us cage fighters. You log on to that blog. You post your comments and do what?
Correct the record!
We are here today to correct the record. When they say that mixed martial arts has no rules on a TV show, when you see Bob Riley on Fox saying what he says, you call up the producer and what do you do?
Correct the record!
We learned last week after Governor Cuomo released his budget that we can dump all the lobby money we want into people's pockets. Doesn't matter. It's up to us.
There's a passionate group of people who want to see the sport. It's illegal because of the legislature's decision in the 90s to ban ultimate fighting and mixed martial arts. And there's still a strong community, it sounds like, from my understanding, in New York City. There's fights. There's people who are passionate about it. But, you know, as much money as the UFC has been pouring into lobbying efforts, it doesn't seem to be working. So it sounds like it's going to take a grassroots effort, and events like this are a good way to start.
History was made Tuesday afternoon, February 8th in New York City, as for the first time, in my knowledge, in the United States, a political rally was held to call for the legalization and regulation of mixed martial arts.
First want to read some greetings of somebody who could not be at this rally today, writing to us from Tokyo, Japan. I wish you all the best in your rally. I'm with you in spirit. May the strike force be with you and the dream come true. Signed, Lenny Hart, the greatest ring announcer in MMA.
We had over 50 people participating in the rally, lots of passers-by here in downtown Manhattan. And the message is very simple. 44 states have already regulated and sanctioned this sport, legalized it. Only 4 states are holding out. New York is still holding on to a ridiculous, antiquated, unfair, prohibition-style law that bans what they call combative sports.
There was a famous New Yorker named Malcolm X who said on March 29, 1964, if you're interested in freedom, you need some judo, you need some karate, you need all the things that will help you fight for freedom. That's what Malcolm X said. And what he was talking about was self-defense and the need for you to learn the different styles of martial arts. And again, this was in the 1960s, and the martial arts were different then. But you notice he mentioned judo, meaning grappling, and karate, meaning striking. Even then, it was understood.
My sense of it is just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And, part of the issue, it's sticky here in New York because it's illegal. It's not like going to a state where it's not regulated and there's no issue there. I mean, they got to get it off the books first in terms of being illegal, and then you regulate and sanction. But there's budget issues. I mean, the governor just put a budget out that it sounds like severely hampers the athletic commission here. So, they have many more issues to deal with in New York than mixed martial arts. But for people here, it's a pretty important one.
First of all, thank you guys for coming out. It's really important that you show community support on this issue. I was up in Albany all day yesterday. I met with most of the assemblymen and most of the people at tourism committee that vote on this bill, that are supporting this bill. And guys, they're in favor of the bill. They're in favor of bringing revenue to New York. They're in favor of legalizing mixed martial arts. What they do not have is an active community kicking them in the nuts and telling them on a day-to-day basis that this is what they want. So one of the biggest things that you need to do as a community is to stay active. You need to call them cats and let them know. They don't know what's going on. I'll be honest with you. I talked to them. Half of them don't know what's going on.
That's why we have to be out here on this obviously very cold and windy day to demand that New York State legalize and sanction mixed martial arts just like 44 other states have done.
Why not New York City? Wouldn't we love to have an MMA event in Madison Square Garden?
And who will be the beneficiaries of this? The young people. Because they will then see, not just on television, not just on pay-per-view, but in an arena that you can get to with a Metro card, or if you're upstate, it's not too far away. They will see some of those top martial artists in the world in person, see their great technique, see their sportsmanship, see their discipline.
There's no downside to legalizing it. There's only upsides in terms of the money and the schools that will open and all the fighters getting a chance to fight in their home state. What it is, it's grandstanding by a couple of upstate politicians. They got people convinced that it's human cockfighting, that it's very, very dangerous. The sport is statistically safer than boxing, it's safer than high school football.
If you call them, if you bother them, if you send them lovely letters explaining that you are a business owner, you are a resident, you will spend the money and you want it here, they will make the right decision. And I will support you. I'm moving here in June. My main mission for moving to New York is to make sure that MMA is legalized. We did it in California. It only took me 2 years, and I'm going to do it here in New York. So if you see me on the streets, that's what I'm doing.
What can people do to push MMA in the state of New York? Write to your congressman or your assemblyman.
Speak up. Be part of the political process, because it's going to take an action in terms of removing a law that's on the books. The only way to do that is speak to the people in Albany.
Go online, go on sites like thefightnerd.com and thegarb.com. Look for, there's petitions out there, just pay attention to look for those the rallies that we're going to be holding, and get out there and just get involved.
And if you are from New York, you have to talk to your legislator. Make an appointment. Go down to the office. Sending letters are great, but going to the office and making an appointment is better.
We're saying enough is enough. We've had it. We're pissed. We're tired of this. We want the jobs associated with the sport. There's no reason that it shouldn't take place in the state of New York, under the unified rules, under the regulation of the New York State Athletic Commission, all of that.
If you're not from New York, send a letter to Governor Cuomo letting him know that you would come to New York.
Be vocal, really. Write, call your local representative.
Wake up, people. Let's get it legalized.
If you're interested in the coalition to legalize mixed martial arts in New York and you want to help us, you can go to our blog, which is nymmmanow.blogspot.com. You can also find our group on Facebook, and just spread the word.
We've got to work together to make MMA legal here in New York. Thanks for your support. We'll see you at the next rally. We're taking this thing to Albany. We will not fail. Thank you.